On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
That's one word that American women don't understand, the concept of sacrifice. If you got kids with this man, and if you want to establish something, it requires sacrifice. In our Western civilization, we send sacrifice from one standpoint, and it's coming from the men. The women play no sacrifice in none of this. So that's what we get, the outcome we get, and the law support it. Not only does it report bad decision, but it supports them thinking about themselves, and then they not even being able to spell sacrifice. Loss. You remove forced child support. You remove incentive programs. What you will single-handedly do is you will, by default, increase marriages, increase relationships, and then you increase healthy households. These laws and policies are the downfall.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's a contract she's paid to leave.
I feel like this is assuming that.
I'd say to avoid some hoes too. I'd say like don't go there. I know they look good, son, but just chill out. Sorry, go ahead, coach.
Oh, wait. I just want to say one thing. This is the first time that women has read off another woman off Lapeef Network. B Taylor is out of here. Where'd she go?
Huh?
No, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know she said she had to get off at 11:30, Logic.
Oh, okay. I'll take that back then.
Man, don't do it, Logic. Don't do it.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop being honest.
So what I was gonna say was, if your son, yes, we understand how the state of things are today, the laws. I'm right there with you guys. I would say marriage is fine as long as you pick a woman that's not a modern woman, basically, in that definition. You know what I mean? Because like marriage requires skin in the game. It requires commitment. You can't just like up and leave. Now, the laws, granted, I get it. But if you pick the right person, your right person for you, then what's to worry about? I mean, I'm not worried at all. Of course, I'm a female, but I'm not worried at all for a second. I don't think there's anything that we can't work through. And I think marriage is a beautiful thing. And I think more people need to be willing to commit, and because commitment takes sacrifice, but also takes being uncomfortable. And that's, it's better than just willy-nilly all out here, but I don't know.
Okay, I'll make an exception. If he can find a traditional virgin, he can marry her. A traditional woman, that's a virgin, 21, 22.
What are the chances of finding that today?
I know.
Like 2%.
Your chances of a happy marriage if you've slept with 5 or more partners drops from 80% to 25%. What percent of women are really 5 or less?
So,
yeah,
I think if she gets some healing and
what?
I think if she, I mean, obviously if she is like 10 plus, like that's a lot. But I think, obviously I think guys would all prefer virgins, but I think we know the difference between a girl who's had sex and a total hoe. You know what I mean? But preferences are good, but let's also be realistic.
Hey, Coach
I'm not.
I don't want no virgin. Men, y'all gotta stop. Men don't want no virgin. We want.
Yes, we do.
We want somebody. Look, we just don't want to know. Like that's all. Look, recipes, but that's the only thing I disagree. One of the things I disagree is that the whole body count thing. No, I just don't want to know. If I don't know, it's gonna hurt me. But do I want a virgin? No, I want a gymnast. I want Gabby Douglas. I want her to go from the living room to the bedroom on hit that triple beam.
She got a man and he ain't even married her yet.
Who?
Gabby Douglas. No, that's Simone Biles.
No, I'm just saying the gymnast. I want
she ain't even married yet.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing we okay. That's nice. That's nice, I guess. No, I just think like what do you need the piece of paper for? Like, what do you need a piece of paper from the government? You could still do the ceremony. You could still do everything. Like, why does she need a government contract that she's paid to leave? Like, that's what I don't get. And on top of that, like, I'm not saying like I think men should be realistic, but the point is like those are the odds. Like 25% chance of a happy marriage, probably lower.
Well,
So
the government
am I
used to hold couples accountable so that they couldn't just up and leave. We don't have really community, so you can't really shame, your sister or whoever, like, okay, no, you need to work this out.
Mhm.
But I think, again, it requires an extra step, and people don't want to be uncomfortable. People are lazy. So if I know I have to go spend money to go get a divorce attorney, whatever, and do all this, okay, I'm speaking to sane people here. I
Mhm.
don't want to do it. I would rather work on my marriage, but that's not, most people,
Yeah, and I think from like a
unfortunately.
yeah, but I think when it's like not your assets on the line, it's easy to say. But when it's their
Well, I
assets
agree
on
with the laws being changed for sure.
yeah, and
So
that's why
I don't think we should have no fault divorce. I think that should be a policy initiative. Like working on that should be at the forefront. I'm sure a lot of men are working towards that. More women should be also if they want to be consistent. But
Mhm.
yeah,
So I
I
got a
totally get the assets. But again, in my marriage, I'm not worried about it because I know I'm not worried about it.
I got a question for y'all. I got a question for y'all because I lived in South Korea for 3.5 years. Right, the child support backlog in South Korea is insane. But you know what they don't have? They don't have a culture of baby mamas because they know the government will not enforce their bad decisions. So guess what? They do not make the bad decisions. If you look at Middle Eastern countries where divorce is not an option, you know what it requires women to do? Sacrifice. That's one word that that's one word that American women don't understand. The concept of sacrifice. If you got kids with this man, and if you want to establish something, it requires sacrifice. In our Western civilization, we send sacrifice from one standpoint, and it's coming from the men. The women play no sacrifice in none of this. So that's what we get, the outcome we get, and the law support it. Not only does it support bad decision, but it supports them thinking about themselves, and then they not even being able to spell sacrifice. Loss. You remove forced child support. You remove incentive programs. What you will single-handedly do is you will by default increase marriages, increase relationships, and then you increase healthy households. These laws and policies are the downfall